You were once a baby. You had a room, a blanket, a favorite sound, maybe a toy you reached for every morning. People held you. Someone may have whispered your name so many times that it became the first shape of comfort in your life. And yet, if I ask you to remember it from inside your own mind, there is almost nothing there. That is the strange part. The most helpless version of you lived through every second of those days. But the adult version of you cannot go back and watch them. Baby photos feel like evidence from someone else's life. That small face is yours, but also not yours. You look at it and think, I was there, so why does it feel like I was not? This is called childhood amnesia or infantile amnesia. It does not mean babies have no memory. Babies can learn. They can recognize familiar voices. They can react to faces they know. They can become calm when a certain person enters the room. A baby may not understand the words "I am safe," but the body can still learn what safety feels like. So the mystery is not simply, why do babies forget everything? The better question is, why can the brain remember enough to grow, but not enough to tell a story later? One reason is that early memory is not built like adult memory. Adult memories usually have a frame. They have a place, a time, a self, and a story. I was there. This happened. Then that happened. It made me feel this way. But when you were a baby, the part of the brain that helps organize personal events, especially the hippocampus and its connections, was still developing. It was not broken. It was under construction. Imagine trying to save a movie while the camera, the clock, and the file system are all still being built. Something may be recorded, but it may not be stored in a way your future self can open. Language also matters. Many memories become easier to keep when we can describe them. Before language, life is not empty, but it is harder to label. A baby can feel warmth, hunger, fear, comfort, and surprise, but the baby cannot turn those feelings into a clear sentence with a place, a date, and a reason. Without words, many early experiences may remain as sensations, habits, and emotional traces instead of clear scenes. You may not remember the first lullaby someone sang to you, but maybe your body learned that a low, gentle voice meant peace. There is another missing piece, the idea of you. Not the body called you, but the self who can stand inside a memory and say, "This happened to me." That self develops slowly. A baby reacts to the world, but does not yet understand life as a long story with a main character. Later, children learn their name, yesterday, tomorrow, and that the child in the photo is the same person they are now. Memory needs that thread. Without it, early life becomes like loose pages, without page numbers. And then time does what time always does. Adults usually have very few clear memories from before age 3 or 4. Even memories from the next few years can be scattered, dreamlike, or mixed with stories other people told us. That can sound sad, as if the first years of your life disappeared. But maybe they did not disappear in the way we imagine. Maybe they became part of the foundation instead of part of the photo album. You do not remember learning the sound of your mother's voice, but that sound may have taught your nervous system what familiar meant. You do not remember falling asleep in someone's arms, but your body may have learned that the world could sometimes be trusted. The baby you were is not gone because you cannot replay the footage. That baby became the floor you stand on. The earliest parts of your life may not return as scenes, but they may return as instincts, fears, comforts, and quiet reactions you never chose. This is why baby photos feel so strange. They show a person who is completely you, but unreachable. Everyone else may have stories about that child. They may remember your first steps, your first words, the way you laughed at something ordinary. But you, the person who lived it, have to meet that child from the outside. Maybe that is what makes the question feel bigger than memory science. You cannot remember being a baby because the person who could remember it had not fully arrived yet. The brain was learning. The body was learning. The self was forming. The story had started, but the narrator was not awake. So when you look at an old baby photo and feel that small, uncomfortable distance, maybe it is not because the photo is fake. It is because it is real in a way memory cannot reach. It is proof that your life began before your story did. Before you had words, you were already being shaped. Before you had memories, you were already becoming someone. And even if you cannot remember that baby is still here, quietly hidden underneath everything you call yourself.